What actually happens when you ignore a narcissist? If you ignore a narcissist, it doesn't do what you think that it does. It doesn't teach them a lesson, it doesn't make them reflect, and it doesn't make them suddenly develop empathy. What it does do is disrupts how their brains regulate themselves. Narcissistic behavior is driven by external emotional regulation. They don't stabilize internal. They stabilize by attention, reaction, and control. The attention can be positive or negative. Praise, anger, tears, explanation, it all counts. So when someone stops responding, the narcissist brain loses a part of their supply. Neurologically, that creates a threat response. First comes confusion. The brain expects stimulation but doesn't get it. This creates a prediction error, which creates an anxiety. Then comes the panic. Not because they miss the person, but because they're losing control of the emotional feed, the one that makes them feel real. The panic often turns to escalation. This is when you'll see excessive calling, proactive comments, sudden charm or fake vulnerability, smear campaigns, or just rage. This phase is often confused for believing that a narcissist cares. They don't. This is withdrawal behavior, it's not attachment. If the ignoring continues, calmly and consistently without explanation, the narcissist then hits something that they can't tolerate. No reaction. No dopamine, no emotional discharge, no power exchange. At that point, one of three things end up happening. They rage, they collapse into victimhood, or they redirect to a new source. This is why ignoring a narcissist often makes it worse before they actually disappear. And here's the part that people don't talk about enough. Ignoring a narcissist is actually harder for the survivor to do at first, because trauma bonds are conditioned through intermediate reinforcement. The body was trained to respond in order to reduce conflict. So silence feels wrong, guilt will show up, and fear is definitely going to spike. And that doesn't mean that ignoring is unhealthy. It means that your nervous system is detoxing from the chaos. The survivor's brain starts to rewire. The stress hormones decrease. Emotional reactivity starts to lower. The trauma bond starts to weaken. The prefrontal cortex regains control. The body then learns a new rule. Reaction is not required for safety. Ignoring a narcissist is not about punishment. It's about regaining your control of yourself. Removing the access that they once had. No explanation, no closure conversation, and no final speeches. Because explanation would feed hope. Hope then feeds pursuit. Silence feeds their reality. Healthy people respect boundaries. Unhealthy people push them. So if ignoring someone makes them escalate, that's not proof that it's wrong. It's proof that it's working. Ignoring a narcissist doesn't change them. It just changes who they can reach. And that's the whole point of it. No longer having access to you and no longer allowing them to take over who you are. It's regaining yourself back so that you don't have to go through that anymore. It's breaking a trauma bond so that you can heal and move forward into a healthy relationship.